grew up, I looked at myself and I looked at that warped definition, and I realized that I didn't measure up. So I began to hate my hips, and I hated my height, and I hated my complexion, I hated my personality, I hated everything. And what I did was try to change it. So I would mimic people. I mimicked how people dressed, how they talked, how they stood, you know, whatever they did, I mimicked. And what it was essentially was a slap in the face of God to say, of all of the things you created, with me, you made a mistake. And what you should do is just fix me like you did the other ladies. That's what you should do, God. Now, of course, when he didn't comply, I looked to people to fix me. I would go to people and seek approval. So I wanted to fit in, and in that, you know, my testimony is different. I started, you know, smoking weed and drinking and clubbing, and you know, I know he's in here, so I'm gonna try to be, but you know, doing the other stuff. I started doing that so I could be accepted. I wanted people to accept me. And how many of you know when you don't know who you are, somebody will gladly tell you who they think you should be, or try to mold you into who they want you to be. And so that led to a string of bad relationships, toxic relationships, and not just with men, but you know, my girlfriend said, you know, you wearing your stuff, you think you looking cute, and she's like, that outfit is not cute, your stomach's too big, or I don't like your hair like that. You'd be like, well, dang, you know, I was feeling a little bit good, but now, and then when we think about the men's side of it, you know, you thought it, I won't say y'all, me. Thinking love was in the picture, so you know, you drop the cookie, and I hope your son knows what that is. So you do that, and it's like, okay, he stops calling, stops texting, and you know what's worse, he talks about you and then starts to treat you any kind of way. So now it's not only having the low self-esteem, but then there's low self-worth, because I'm not feeling like I'm worth anything to anybody. All of that because I tried to fix what God created. And it was after I was grown and married with 2 kids, I was sitting in the movie theater watching the trailers, and this trailer came on that said, you've been trying all your life to fit in when you were created to stand out. All I could do was cry because I knew it was God. I knew he was trying to get my attention. He was the only one that knew my secret. I could fix it up on the outside. I could try to fit in and talk like everybody else and lean back and whatever it is people were doing. But God knew my secret, that I was still insecure. I was a Jesus girl at the time, but I was still broken. And so in that, he began to walk me through a journey of healing me. I gave you that height because I'm going to use you as a model. I gave you that complexion because I want you to empower women of color to know it's okay to be a brown girl. You're still a queen. I gave you those hips so that you can empower somebody and they'll know that what society says is beautiful is not necessarily the truth. Because one person can say a size 2 is beautiful, another person can say a 26 is beautiful, and neither one of them are wrong. But what we live in is a society that tries to tell us who we are and what we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to knit and tuck and stick in and pin up so that we can be beautiful. And God is like, that's not true. That's a warped identity, a warped definition of what beauty is. So as he healed me, I'm feeling good about myself, you know, wearing my stilettos and stuff, and he allowed me to fall into idolatry. And as you know, idolatry is the worship of other gods. So me, saved, filled with the Holy Spirit, I love God, but the person that I worship, or the God that I worship, was a man of God. So some of you know my story. I went through a divorce. The man that I had the 2 children with, a horrific divorce, you know, very gruesome as far as the adultery that was committed, very painful. But I went through that divorce, and before I could get out of it good, here comes this man of God that I met, a bishop. And he came in talking to me, and I was reluctant at first, and then he started to tell me, you know, God said I was his wife and all of this, and so I pulled back. But then before you know it, we're on the phone praying at 3 and 4 in the morning, and he's prophesying to me and telling me who I am and all of this stuff. So while he's doing that, I'm like, okay, maybe there's a possibility. Never mind the fact that I'm still like going through the process of separation, even though my ex is sleeping downstairs and I'm sleeping upstairs. God is a God of order. He's gonna send this man in to just sweep you out and all that, but that was my process. So, you know, with it being a long distance relationship, we end up meeting in Chicago, you know, and I felt like I'm gonna do me. You know, I'm feeling some type of way. I gotta stop doing everything because you committed adultery. My body's not ready to just go into shock, for lack of better terms. I hope y'all can read between the lines. I'm feeling like, really? So that really made me resentful. I was angry, and I'm feeling like it's not fair. So I'm gonna do me while I'm here. Needless to say, after that meetup, the relationship went downhill. I found out that he, you know, was shacking with somebody. A bishop, shacking with somebody, got somebody pregnant, and before the baby even came on the scene, I was friends with both of them on Facebook. So she would be posting stuff, and he would be posting stuff, and then their posts kind of like, and I'm looking like, okay, that's real similar. You know, y'all sound like y'all talking in code or whatever. But he did all these things, and I'm stepping back, looking at it like, how could you be so grimy to somebody? But that was my process. God had to show me that if you take me off the throne and you put man there, this is what man will do to you. And even though you're confident on the outside and you can wear your heels, you're still broken. And because I love you, I'm going to fix that part too. So let me show you what's still in you and what still needs to be worked on so we can get that fixed. So once, you know, I got drugged through my heart, I was already bleeding my heart emotionally because of the adultery from my ex. Then he sweeps in, it's like the enemy, when he's ready to take you out, he will try to annihilate you. So it's like, I'm looking back at it now like it's only God. So he picked me up, God picked me up, you know, dust me off, let me know I was beautiful. And one night I'll say, I'm the type of person, I'll go to different parking lots. Like I might go to Target or Joann Fabric or something like that and sit out from the store, and I'll just sit out and pray and talk to God. So one night I was at Target, and God said to me, why do you want me to open the door for you? And I was like, because I'm a lady, and I know who I am. He better open the door. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what you mean, God? He's supposed to open the door. He's like, no, that's not the only reason why. He's like, what are you doing right now? And I said, I'm praying. I'm here talking to you and seeking you for strategy. And he's like, that's what makes you valuable. What you are doing right now is what makes you valuable. The fact that you can make a mistake and I can reveal it to you, and then you come to me and repent, and you ask me to help you, that's what makes you valuable. When you're not selfish and you want to give to other people and you want to see other people make it, that's what makes you valuable. It's what you do when nobody is looking. It has nothing to do with the physical crown. It has nothing to do with hips and butt and nothing. It has nothing to do with that. So that's why he should open the door for you, because of who you are in this moment. And you should expect that. And I'm like, okay, God, you know, thank you. I'm feeling that. Okay. So I'm feeling myself. Now, mind you, this is years, like 2 or 3 years in the making. And so after about 3 years, I dated the guy, and he was really nice and, you know, so nice, had so much potential. He's the only person I let meet my children after, you know, the divorce. So I let him meet my children and stuff, and he would do nice stuff. Like one day I had been with him and his family, and I went to Walmart that night and looked on the back seat of my car, and there was some new shoes. And he would bring, I love fresh flowers, so he would bring a single rose every now and again. But after almost a year of dating, I realized that it had been about 5 or 6 months, and I hadn't gotten a rose. And I'm like, why you don't bring, you know, roses and stuff like you used to? His response to me was, I give roses to those who deserve them. So I was like, oh, okay. So in that moment, because because of what happened with the bishop and because of what happened with my ex-husband, I learned to pray when people come into my life. God, what is this person for? What is their purpose? You know, show me this person's heart. And so during the course of our relationship, God began to show me little pockets of hostility. You know, like I went to, one day we were riding in the truck, and I went to turn the radio down so I could say something to him, and he moved my hand out the way and looked at me and then turned the radio back up. Thinking, you know.
You right.
So he had the nerve to tell me one time that I talk too much, and just little pockets of hostility. So when he said that about the rose, that let me know what he was feeling in his heart. I had to think back on what God had already shown me. And then he said that about I give roses to those who deserve them. So what you've shown me is that your love is conditional. And see, I can't deal with that. Yeah, man will love us conditionally, truthfully. And I'm saying men and women. But I'm going to mess up some stuff. I just am. God already knows that. I have messed up so much. He saw me when I did stuff inside of wedlock, outside of wedlock, just for lack of better terms. A lot of stuff God has seen me do. And so he forgave me. But when he told me that about the rose, that let me know that he didn't see me as valuable enough. So at that moment, I could look at it like, okay, but we do go places together and we got all these selfies and he, buy me stuff and we go and take trips and all this stuff. And he met my kids. And wisdom had to tap me on the shoulder because this is where a lot of women get it wrong. Because we're already in it. And I'm thinking, mind you, it's been 3 years. So I like feeling good and smelling good and having somebody get dressed up for me, feeling like a woman again. So wisdom said, okay, you can take what I've shown you and you can take what I've shown you and say, okay, this person is not for me. Or you can decide that you're going to walk down that road again. And I've already delivered you from that. I've already freed you from the low self-esteem. I've already freed you from the low self-worth. You can take it, you can walk with that and go, or you can say, okay, this is not God's will for me, let me step back. And that's what I had to do. And so I think I'm sent here tonight just to empower you. I believe that everybody knows it already, but God knows what each and every one of us needs and where our pockets of weakness are. I believe I'm here to tell you that you are beautiful, that you are worthy, and that if a person can appreciate who you are, who God has created you to be, then they need to be out of your space. Because sometimes we feel unpretty because of the people in the relationships that we're in. The way they make us feel, sometimes they'll lift us up to let us down. I was watching when it really hit home with me and God let me know he wasn't playing about this dude, like you better move him. I was watching something on TV one day. It was actually Bishop Jakes, his show came out or whatever, but it was like a something to seal the deal to say, okay, you did the right thing. I watched where this lady said she was dating this guy. She was single. And she was dating this guy with 2 kids. And he started out nice, just like the guy, you know what I'm talking about. But she said then he would start saying little mean stuff. And so when she got her degree, he was like, well, you're not a doctor. Like she got something, he's like, you can do this, but you can't do that. And so she told him that he couldn't come to her job because she worked at a correctional facility. So she told him, you can't come because it's against the rules or whatever. Anyway, one day she goes to her office and there are a lot of roses in there. He came to her job anyway. So when she asked him about it later, he was like, I brought the roses and I see you put that picture up that I told you to put on your desk. So it wasn't about the roses. It was really about you trying to control and see what was going on behind the scenes. Long story short, one day he was at her house. He called her, told her to bring him a towel. He was in another room, told her to bring him a towel, like a big bath towel or whatever. She went to take the towel to him, and he dashed acid on her and burned her. And she burned for like 20 minutes before they got there. And then after that, he lied. So after that, she had to fight. After she got done with her healing, she had to learn how to walk and talk, and her kids had to see her like that. And after she got done with her healing, then she had to go through a year of fighting to get him convicted for it. So sometimes looking at testimonies and things that people have gone through, of course God can speak to us. And it's just my prayer and my hope that if anybody is in a relationship like that, or you know that God is speaking to you about something, somebody, that you really let it go. And that's all I have.
Amen.